Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. Just doing a quick mixing session, doing my hybrid workflow. Got a client remote by the name of Crooked Notes. They had a really cool sound, so as soon as I got the files, I asked him, hey, would you mind if I live streamed him? And he was grateful enough to say yes, so definitely, if you're checking on this, make sure you check out Crooked Notes. His Instagram and website is in the description. Definitely give him a follow at any point during or after this live stream. But I'm really excited for it because it's a very energetic song, and it was recorded pretty well, but there's a lot of stuff that can be done to it to add some liveliness, to add some energy, which is why I'm excited to be live streaming this and going through the process. And I'm going to be doing mostly hardware on this one because when it's got that much energy, that much going on, I really like to use hardware to kind of accentuate that, you know. Digital can be a little, I mean, the plugins sound great, but it can be a little precise, and you know, it's got a lot of that humanistic nature to it, to the performance. The performance is first and forefront within this song. So I want to be sure to allow that to breathe, and have the hardware and have my performance also be affecting how the end mix and master come out from this. So with that being said, really excited to dive in. But even then, welcome to this live stream. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's my first time testing out a new setup on here. I've got some different camera angles that I'm excited for. I'm caffeinated out of my fucking mind. I've got this view, the main view. Hello. I've got my Pro Tools view. You'll be seeing my Pro Tools session as well as me in the corner, which I can turn on or off depending on what plugins I'm using. I've got my rack view. Nothing really close up, but it's kind of showing generally what I've got going on over here. Other rack view, I'm dual wielding on both my left and my right. And then on top of that, I've got, whoops, pointed at nothing. I've got this remote view that can move around depending on, well, actually that's frozen. Apparently I don't have that. There we go. That should be good. Nope, let's deactivate it and reactivate it. Well, that's fun. Okay, well, I guess I'm not using that view. I guess I'm just sticking with this mainly. And see if that fixes it. Yeah, there we go. So I've got this other view, which is a mobile camera that I can pan around and showcase specific things that I'm doing if at any point anybody has any questions about some of the more specific settings that I've got going on. So yeah, I'm really excited to jump into this. And before we really dive into it, let's look at Pro Tools and look what we've done. I started working on this a little bit before I decided to live stream it. So there is some stuff happening, but I will bypass. I'm not trying to bypass. I'm trying to make that inactive. I will bypass everything first and slowly kind of bring things back in once we do a quick kind of listen through.
In our closet,
So yeah, it's just everyone's going crazy. It's just so fun. This specific song is called "Haunted." Once again, by the artist Crooked Notes. Links in the description. Be sure to check them out and follow them, listen to their music. But to dive in, there's a couple things that I'm hearing right off the bat. First thing that stood out to me is the accordion and the banjo. So we got the two accordions here. They've got a lot of fullness to them, but not a lot of energy. It's kind of smooth throughout the whole performance, but you can tell with how it's hitting, with how that energy, with how that song's going, that would benefit from having that. It's got something to it, but it's just a little dull at the moment. And the same thing goes with the banjo. So that sounds like a DI, a very a dull DI, and I mean it's kind of replacing that. It's the whole rhythm of the song that we really want to accentuate. So that's going to be like one of the very first things I tackle, which I haven't even colorized this yet. I should probably colorize this real quick so that I have everything labeled and easy to access the way that I like to do it. There's an accordion solo in between each of the chorus and verses, which is really fun. I'm going to enjoy that. Some cool backup vocal effects. We didn't really get to hear it as I was soloing through everything with the backing vocals, but I think that's going to be... I already know it's going to be fun to work on because I said I worked on this a little bit. And then there's an inhale and lighter effect on the intro and outro. And that... I've also done a little bit, as you can tell, these plugins are bypassed to clean up and accentuate it a little bit, make it really atmospheric. Because I want this to really have like a vibe in addition to the performance. So let's kind of start off and bring back a couple things that I've already done. So the drum overhead is a mono drum overhead. So what I did was I put the reverb in line. So it's a mono to stereo reverb, 100% dry, basically, actually a little more than 100% wet. And since I put it in line instead of parallel, it's now processing a stereo. It's not adding a lot of width, but it's adding just enough width to it. To help it not sound so right down the center, so focused. Then for the accordions, I have this Waves plugin called IDX Intelligence Dynamics. So basically, it's like a multi-band compressor, and it has like some algorithm stuff built into it to try to even the sound out. And I like utilizing it for things that just need a little bit more transients to them, a little more energy, but also like a little bit more balancing before I go into the rest of my processing. We'll play the accordions with and without it. So it's got a pretty fast speed going to it. It means it's reacting to it quite fast, which is adding that transients to it. And then I have an API compressor with a slow attack and a faster release to really emphasize that as well. So that already is quite lively. I do want to throw a high pass on these things because they do go quite low. I don't want to completely get rid of the low mid, so I'm going to do around, I think 120 hertz is probably good. So, moving on from that, let's really take a look at the banjo. because that could use a little bit of energy. Okay, so we're going over to the racks now. Let's do the rack PV over here. On this side, I have the Symmetrix 552E. This is a 5-band parametric EQ. So that is going to be what I'm going to put the banjos in to add that high pass to clean up those low and low mids a little bit. Just grab some patch cables. So I'm going to start off processing these individually, and then I will do stereo bus processing to kind of bring them together once that's all said and done. So in Pro Tools, we're going to do inserts 12 and 13. Oops. And we're going to patch. Wait, that's 12 and 13? I meant 13, 14. What did I do? Yeah. No, I am not very accurate with my mouse today. 14, 13. And then from there, we're going to patch into the 552E and back in. I'm going to set the EQs first, then I'm going to go run them into some compression. But start with these bypassed on the rack. So they're still a little dull. So before that, I'm actually going to patch them into the Affix 9251s, which are a set of aural exciters, which I am personally a huge fan of. So I use this 900 series chassis right here. It's basically like, I think 70s, 80s, mainly used for live. Don't have a whole bunch of, not a lot of people use them in the studio, but I really like the modules. I'm a fan of DBX, but I'm especially a fan of Affix. They do some really good stuff. And what this will do is it will add high frequency harmonics to really just add some clarity to the top that it's missing. Let's take those out. like the auto harmonics a little bit more. See if we can shift the tune. I want it to be kind of like mid, high mid forward. Like really get that plunkiness going. I can dig that. I can get behind that. From there, let's go back into the EQ. Now that I've got more of a full range to work with. And you know what? Actually, in Pro Tools, let's put the IDX on and see what that does to it. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I not hearing the left channel? Oh, that's why. That's a little dirty. Beauty of hardware. Which knob's doing that? All right. I have to figure out what that noise is coming from. Now, on the stream might not be the time to do it. I might go back in. Oh, I'm definitely going back in once we got a rough mix going. Because I just want to get this to the point where the rough mix is going. I'm going to be dialing things up when I'm not on stream to really be more critical versus, you know, conversational and going through and showcasing and all that. So, instead of going directly from that back in, now we're going to go from there into those EQs and back in. Bypass. Sounding so much better. I mean, we got the before. I'm digging that a lot. The next thing we need is just to add some pump to it with some compression. Now, normally, I have an interesting relationship with the DBX 266 XLs. They're not the fanciest compressors, and I just bought them so long ago. And when I got them, I was like, yeah, I'll try them out, and then I'll probably get rid of them at some point. And that's what I thought. You know, I used them, but I never like loved them. And well, I didn't love them at first. I'm a huge believer that every tool, every piece of audio equipment, there is no good, there is no bad. There is what is it useful for? Because everything does have a use case for it. I love vintage microphones for this situation, just specifically for that reason. They might not sound great, they might have that lo-fi sound, but occasionally it's just exactly what you want. And the same thing goes to rack gears. Sometimes the 266s are just what you want. Sometimes that really pulsy punchiness that's like kind of really over-exaggerated. Sometimes it doesn't work, but sometimes it really does. So that's what we're gonna try to use them for today. And I'm curious how they're gonna work with the banjo. So let's give that a shot. All right, so that might sound a little over-aggressive on their own, but in context, let's see how these are going. Currently I have the accordion, hard pan left, accordion at 65. I got my cables down here, by the way. Whoops. Currently I've got the accordion, 65, 45, banjo, hard left, hard right. And I think I'm actually gonna emphasize the stereo field of this a little bit more. Bring that maybe to 40 right, 100 left, and then 40 left, and 100 right. So I'm a little hot. I'm clipping a little bit. I think on the way back in. So I'm going to bring back the gain. A little muddy. So we're going to now open up F6. emphasize the mid a little bit more. Sweet. On top of that, let's move to the main vocal. So, once again, I had, let's listen to it soloed real quick.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder.
So, things I like about it. It's got that nice raspiness to it. It's a little mid forward, a little high mid, like not a lot of air, not a lot of top, not a lot of like up by not too much support, but it's got a really good energy to it, really good focus that I just need to control a little bit. Well, that was annoying. I don't know why that cut out. Let's put this on pause for a little bit, and I'm gonna figure out what just happened here. All right, so it appears that the internet dropped out, and that's what caused all the frames to drop, and also disconnected my remote camera. So let's reset that up. That fix it? No. Let's restart. And that should be reconnecting now. Yep, cool. So let's keep this ball rolling. I'm working on the vocal.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder.
So what I'm using this for, once again, to keep it snappy, keep it lively, but also kind of like even it out both frequency-wise as well as dynamic range-wise, just a little bit. Not doing too much reduction, but I'm doing a little bit.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were.
Now I did mention that I did do a little bit of work before live streaming, and most of that
This house is haunted by
is on the vocal. I did set up a basic chain, which we will be dialing in a little bit, especially in context of the rest of the music. So from here, I have it going out of my patch bay into this Afix compeller, which, if you're not familiar with what a compeller is, it's mainly meant for broadcast. Once again, mainly meant for live or broadcast. And what they're great for is they're a compressor and leveler. And they are incredibly transparent. So I'm going to turn everything I have in bypass at the moment on it, and we'll listen to it with the compeller engaged and without the compeller engaged.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were, where the dreams that we murder.
Hold on a second. Oh, that's because I got it in this one. Whoops.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were.
I need to activate it first. So without.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were, where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can fake it, and I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade.
So it's like bringing up the bottom, taming the tops. It's just keeping it more smooth, more consistent. I got the gain increased a little bit, so it's not a complete perfect gain staging.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were, where the dreams that we murder.
But I like it. I like it a lot. I like it on bass. I like it on vocal. Anything that I don't want to transparently be compressing, to be pumping, they're really useful. And I got that whole 900 series rack for like $650 with those all in it. So a good bang for the buck if you're ever looking to get into hardware. Although maybe I shouldn't say that because I like them and I'd like to buy more. Moving on from that, I've got it going into my Golden Age Comp 2A. So let's bring that down. Which is that thing right down here. So just add a little bit of that 2A kind of sound to it. But this one's smooth. It's not really aggressive. It doesn't put it forward like some of the nicer 2As do. And for this, I'm okay with that. I'd love to get, I'd love a real 2A, but I would love to try some of the other ones out there. But this is the only one I got at the moment, so that's the one that I'm using, and it does have some good use case to it. It does sound pretty good on bass.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were, where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can fake it, and I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
So a little more smooth. Not a whole lot, but just enough. Moving on from there, I'm going into this Pultec EQ, about 10 hertz with a decent boost, 20 hertz with just a little bit of a cut, very broad boost. A little bit of a cut just so it's not like too airy, too spittily. Then at 400, I've got a little bit of a boost and a little bit of a cut to kind of scoop some of those lower mids. I want to support it, but not go too crazy with it. So
this house is haunted by the ghost of who we were, where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can fake it, and I remember.
So with all that in context,
this house is haunted by the ghost of who we were, where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I haunted by the ghosts of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder. Dance with the skeletons in our closet. They're rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade.
And from there, I've got a medium long digital reverb, the EMT 250, and I'm using my hardware delay that I'm just kind of blending in to where it needs to do to get the vocal to sit.
This house is haunted by the ghosts of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder. Dance with the skeletons in our closet. They're rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. This town is haunted by the life that we let die. Right was setting in before we knew to try. Now we play house in a corpse every day, forcing a smile through the decay. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
Sweet. All right, so moving on from that, let's take a look at that mandolin. Very, very dynamically performed. I'm just gonna tighten that up a little bit, and then I'm gonna be automating it so that during the solos it punches forward, and then when it falls back, kind of falls back. There might be a couple spots where I do some clip gain in. I'm not really gonna focus on that to like right now for this live stream, but after I kind of got a rough kind of compression setting going, then I'll do some clip gain automation to make sure it's hitting when it needs to, but not over compressing, over committing when it doesn't need to. I mean, like the main part of this is just one. I was excited to mix it, and I wanted to showcase it. Which, by the way, this is Haunted by Crooked Notes. Their information's in the description. You should check them out. And just kind of a rough. This is the rough first mix. Like probably not finalizing it on the stream, but this is just kind of to showcase my thought process and go through the tools I got and the hybrid setup I've got going on, and just having some fun with it. So, you know, I'm thinking now. I do have another compressor I might want to try on the vocal from the Comp 2A, because honestly I'm not quite loving it. Let me put the KT76 on instead of the 2A, and we'll see what that does. Unfortunately, I have a Hairball Revision F76, but that's not functioning at the moment, so I got to get that repaired. So in the meantime, the Clark Technic stuff, it does the job. It doesn't add a lot of mojo to it, but in this situation, that's fine, I think. Let's do a 4-1. Not fast release, a little bit slower, but still a pretty quick attack. We'll start with there and play around with it.
In our closet, they're rattle louder than I can make it, and I
makes what the EQP is doing almost too much.
Ghosts of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder. Dance with the skeletons in our closet. They're rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
I kind of like that. It's more aggressive.
Ghosts of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder. Dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. This town is haunted by the life that we let die. Right was setting in before we knew to try. Now we play house in a corpse every day, forcing a smile through the decay. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
Kind of like that. Let's stick with that moving forward. Moving on to the accordions.
Where louder than I can make it.
Honestly, I like the sound of it, so I'm not gonna mess with it too much. For the mandolin, let's route that out. Now it's time to think. I want to try it through the VLA too. The question is, do I want to EQ it before going to it? I think I'll try that. Let's do the Symmetrix 528E EQ. It's a 3-band. And from there, we'll go to the Art VLA and back in. And this time I'm doing EQ first and then compression. For the vocal, I was doing compression first and then EQ. So let's bypass the compressor and set the EQ back to zeros and go from there. I'm going to do this one in context with the rest of the mix. Probably during the solo. Now let's go to the VLA. We'll start with a really quick release and mess around with the attack. Let's try a 4-1, maybe more like a 3-1. Oh yeah, that just brings it forward. I'm gonna want some reverb on this. Let's go back to Pro Tools. Playable vocal verb, but it's the reverb for pretty much the whole song, unless anything specifically wants a different kind of reverb. So let's. Cool. Bring that back down a little bit now that we've heard it.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. Where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. This town is haunted by the life that we let die. Right was setting in before we knew to try. Now we play house in a corpse every day, forcing a smile through the decay. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember.
All right. What do you want to do next? I guess I should do some kick and bass. Get that foundation going. Start with the bass, I think.
I remember. I remember.
Sweet. All right. For that, this is going to be insert 12. Let's go into my DBX 905 EQ, which is over there. Boop. And from there, into the comp 2A. That's why I freed it up in the first place. And we'll start with it in bypass. Let's get that EQ dialed in. Once again, context of the mix.
I remember ghosts never fade.
That's got some really nice bounce to it now. So on the 905, brought down I boosted up the lows about 100, a little below 100 and up on a low shelf. I tried to find the pick, the clickiness, not really pick, it's an upright bass. So like the snappiness of the strings. I tried to find that with the mid band and just boosted a little bit so there was more of that like attack that was cutting through. And on the highs, like the really, really highs, I just kind of rolled them all down, rolled them off. And I'm liking it. I'm digging that a lot. It's got some nice bounce, like I said, and that was my whole goal with it. The 2A on bass, I'm really glad I switched the vocal off of that and switched from the vocal to the bass and put the vocal on that 76. That's so much better. So much better. Which, moving on to continue the low end, let's do the Pultec on the kick. Now, for this, I'm very interested on exactly how it's going to turn out, but I think my approach is going to be quite different on this than it usually is. I usually like a punchier bass and like a really fat kick, but for this, I'm going to go for more of a punchy low mid kick. So I'm actually thinking I might put a high pass on the kick. Maybe up to like 40? Let's try that. And then from there, go into the EQP KT1. And from there, you know, I've never really used the VLA2 on kick. Let's give that a shot. Here's how that's going to turn out. I got 2 channels of it, so why not? Start with it in bypass. And just start with the EQ. All right, bring all this down. Thinking like maybe 200. Very roomy. I thoroughly enjoy it, honestly. I might do a little bit of a bump around 60 just because I'm not doing much there. I'm digging that. I'm pretty happy with that, in all honestly. uh, so, hey, someone is watching. I want to say thank you for coming in. So what this is I'm just doing a mix down of Haunted by Crooked Notes. This is kind of the introduction mix, kind of a rough mix, getting things going through the process of my hybrid mix setup, making decisions to get roughly there. I'm not doing any like final tweaking, not doing any automation today. That's not. I should probably look at the camera instead of at my screen. I'm not doing any finalizing tweaks or any mastering at the end of this, but this is really just to get it 80-90% of the way there and do that on stream so I can showcase how I do it, what I'm listening for, where my eyes are at, and where my ears are at, and make sure with your ears, not your eyes, and kind of go from there. So I just finished dialing in the kick. I've got it going through my EQP KT and then into my Pro VLA 2. And then I'm going to move on to what's labeled as snare, but it's kind of just... There's not really snare going on. So it's kind of like a secondary overhead, but I think I'm going to try treating this as a room. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to smash the crap out of it. And actually, for that, I'm going to first go through one of my preamps. Yes, I am going through a preamp on the way out and overdriving it and saturating it, and then going into my KT76, all buttons in, and smashing it. Let's see how that turns out. Very excited about that, because my EQ I'm going into is my CP5, and I've got a British op amp installed as my color module. So from there, we're going to go into the second KT76 and back in. Let's get the all buttons in going. Come on. It's a little hard to do on the KT76. It's one of my biggest gripes with it. There we go. Oh, that's pretty nasty. That's pretty destroyed.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. Where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can make it, and I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
So I like it, but now it's kind of harsh. On like that, like, I don't know, 6K area-ish. So I am going to actually go from the 76 into a de-esser, and then, whoops, into a de-esser, and then a de-esser back in, which is right over here.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we.
Oh, wait a minute, that's the wrong thing. This is what I want.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. Where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They're rattled louder than I can make it, and I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never.
Sweet. Now, for the overheads. For overheads, I like bright overheads. Unfortunately, I don't have my I don't have a couple pieces of equipment hooked up at the moment. I don't got a couple of my EQs, my AML 52 F50 compressor. I don't have my color palette. There's a couple things I'm missing at the moment, but I think for what I want to do, I'll be able to do that with my equipment as is. And for the overheads, I think I'm looking at using my Joe Meek channel strip. So let's go out of 17. And let's add some brightness. Let's add some crispness to this, to the overheads.
Can't make it, and I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They're rattled louder than I can make it, and I remember ghosts never fade. I remember I am haunted by what I can't let go. Carrying chains is all that I know. Being on my finger was everything to me. I chewed it off. I am free, but I remember ghosts never fade. I am haunted by what I can't let go. Carrying chains is all I know. Being on my finger was everything to me. I chewed it off. I am free, but I remember ghosts never fade.
Yeah, that's been fun. All right, I'm going to pause it for a quick 5, and then we'll be right back to continue. Whoops. Forgot to have my microphone clipped on. All right, so let's do a quick overview of what I've got going on so far. For the lead vocal, I've got that going into my compeller, followed by my KT76, going into my EQP KT Pultec 2BQ program equalizer, whatever. For the bass, I've got that going into my DBX 905, which is a 3-band EQ, then going into my Golden Age Comp 2A, which is a LA2A style compressor. Beyond that, for the banjos, I've got the IDX going on to kind of even it out, add some punch to it because they're pretty dull without it. From there, going into some oral exciters, and from that going into EQ to add a little bit more curve to it, a little more energy, a little more focus, and then from there going into my DBX 266XL to get that like pulsing overdriven banjo kind of tone. And then for the accordion, I just got, once again, some IDX just to balance it out, going into an API 2500. I don't think I need to do much more than that. For the lead accordion, I've got it going into a red 47 that is overdriving a little bit to get some of that saturation, so that way when it comes, it pokes out. Mandolin, I've got that going into the Symmetrix 528E EQ, then into the Pro VLA2 compressor. I'm very happy with that. It might be what I'm kind of most happy with, honestly. I'm pointing around the room. I don't have the camera set there yet. This is the rack with the K2, the 5280, Symmetrics, the Pro VLA. I'm not using the DBX 166 yet. I don't think I will for this song. Then the Symmetrics 280s. And then on the other side, I've got all that DBX stuff, 900 series, the KT, the 76s. I'm using the Joe Meek for the overheads. I'm really smashing the snare. I'm kind of treating it like a trash mic. And yeah, let's move that out of the way. So I've got that going into some EQ, getting into the 76, and then got some de-esser going on because it was a little bit harsh. And then I think that's it what I got right now. Oops, not that. Just want to unmute them. So let's go to the intro real quick. So at the intro, there's this lighter click followed by a inhale, like breathing in and breathing out. I really like the click and the lighter flicked, but it was a little bit too much, a little bit too grainy. So I put a denoiser on just to reduce it a little bit. I always do that mistake. I try to solo it. Whoops. So without it, with it. It's more like that, like flame, that flickering with a lot of that stuff removed. And from there I got the F6, get rid of that low rumble. Historic slider to add a little bit of airiness to the breath. Then I decided to go kind of drippy with it, so a little bit of delay. And then a J37, scruffy space. So it's got some tape saturation followed by some distortion. That might be too much.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. Where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons.
Sweet. At the end of the song with the exhale.
I remember time is a hidden blade.
So I think what I have left is the backing group vocals.
I remember.
So let's do... Let's get those going.
I remember.
So I got some with reverb embedded, some without reverb embedded, and I kind of like it, so I'm going to keep it. It fits the song well. Basically for this, I just kind of want to hit it with some group compression and get forward a little bit. I mean, get that like kind of settled in nicely behind it. Not forward, that's the wrong terminology entirely. So real easy. Real easy. I guess I'll use the 160. 166? No. Yeah, I use 166. Let's see how that goes. It's usually a little aggressive. I usually wouldn't use it for something like this, but let's try it. I could do the compeller, but I'm feeling something a little more. Feeling trying it, you know. Won't hurt.
I remember.
So we're gonna stereo couple that.
I remember. I remember.
A little bit of a gate.
I remember. Time is a hit. I remember. I remember. I remember. I remember.
I dig that.
I remember. Time is a hitting blade. But I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. But I remember.
All right. Could use a little bit of a scoop. So let's go back to Pro Tools. Let's use a API 550A. Start with the backing vocals.
I remember.
A little too bright.
I remember. I remember. I remember. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. But I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. But I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. But I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. But I remember. Ghost never fade. I remember. Time is a hitting blade. I remember. Ghost never fade.
I'm digging that. Some good energy.
I remember. Ghost never. I remember.
All right, so now there's this added one in the middle. Let's try something a little interesting. Let's do a H delay. Let's do a ping pong, mostly wet. In all honesty, no, I don't want any dirt. Well, I guess I can because I'm gating it. So when it's quiet, the hardware is gonna gate it. Yeah, let's try that. High pass, a little bit of depth, faster rate, BPM. We want milliseconds. Let's go real fast. Not a lot of feedback. Kind of like a slap.
I remember. I remember. I remember.
now there's this.
Ghosts never fade.
I put a little bit of tape saturation and delay on it.
Ghosts never fade.
Spooky like a ghost, because ghosts never fade. Ghosts never fade. Want to get rid of that low pop though for sure.
Ghosts never fade.
Let's get rid of some of the highs too. Really get this mid forward.
Time is a hidden blade.
Ghosts
Never
fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
Ghosts never fade.
All right, so for this, I'm gonna try something interesting. I'm gonna use my F6 EQ to do some mid-side, some mid-side stuff.
Ghosts never fade. Time is a hidden blade.
Don't want those S's very sharp.
Ghosts never fade. Time is a hidden blade. Ghosts
Never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. Ghosts.
Time is a hidden blade. Time is a hidden blade. Time
Is a hidden blade. Time is a hidden blade. Time is
is a hidden blade.
Put a little bit of compression on before that. Let's do M2, just real simple, basic leveling.
Time is a hidden blade.
Time is a hidden blade. Time is a hidden blade. Time is a hidden blade. Ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. Remember, ghosts never fade. I remember, time is a hidden blade. I remember, ghosts never fade. I remember, time is a hidden blade. This town is haunted by the life that we let die. I was setting in before we knew to try. Now we play house in a corpse every day, forcing a smile through the decay. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. Time is a hidden blade.
That's funny. I think I have my return swapped because I have it left here, but it's coming back right. So I think on my insert I might have had them swapped. But it actually worked out for the best because I panned this left to counteract that at the very end. So I'm not upset with it. That actually works out great. Yeah, the song's great because it just starts and it just keeps fucking going, man. Yep, let's do solo clear.
is haunted by the ghost of who we were. We're the dreams that we murder. Dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. This town is haunted by the life that we let die. I was setting in before we knew to try. Now we play house in a corpse every day, forcing a smile through the decay. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I am haunted by what I can't let go. Carrying chains is all that I know. Link on my finger was everything to me. I chewed it off. I am free, but I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
All right. Kind of lost track a little bit. Kind of forgot I was streaming for a second. Hey, we got Crooked Notes right here. Yeah. Andrew specifically. But okay, thinking maybe they could be almost subliminal in how low they. Okay, so like really low, kind of underneath instead of kind of like a call and response kind of thing. Yeah, I had a kind of spacious and whatnot, kind of like because like ghosts never fade, kind of make it wispy and ghosty. But I can definitely do that even more so by making it less prominent, by bringing it back a little bit.
Ghosts never fade.
I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
Sweet. Yeah. So once again, to kind of go over the stream and all that, really just kind of doing a basics kind of running through all the equipment, running through my thought process on mixing and mastering every aspect of this. This is the rough first mix. When the stream is done, I'm going to be diving in and doing automation and such like that to keep the whole thing going. But I wanted to get it really, really solid, like 90% of the way there as a baseline before adding the push and pull from the automating. But that takes a lot of repeating and specific lines and running the board. So I'm not doing that on the stream, unfortunately. But that'll be a lot of fun when that comes in. Quick, once again, run through of how I got it set up. This is a hybrid setup, so I'm using both my racks as well as plugins to get the sound today, because there's so much energy in this performance and so much humanisticness to it. Like, it's not perfect, and I love that. There are parts where there's like a little extra tension, a little extra release because of how it's performed, and I want the mix to be a performance as well. Like, I want to feel it, I want to make those changes, and that's why I'm running this the way it is. So Andrew, I'm glad you're tuned in. Thank you for your feedback on that that ghost response kind of part, because that's kind of like what I'm really trying to do, really trying to emphasize with this. So if you're interested, I can play it. I've been going for just over an hour and a half at this point. I can play it from the start, and you can give me any other kind of adjustments, any other feedbacks in terms of overall levels, and I'll make those adjustments and keep those in mind when we get to the final mix. Because I'm probably about, oh, hell yeah, man. I'm probably about 10, 15 minutes from wrapping it up and then going into the final production aspect of it. But it'd be nice to have a couple like tips, like keeping it more subliminal on that call and response. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
This house is haunted by the ghost of who we were. Where the dreams that we murder dance with the skeletons in our closet. They rattle louder than I can make it. And I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. This town is haunted by the life that we let die. Right was setting in before we knew to try. Now we play house in a corpse every day, forcing a smile through the decay. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I am haunted by what I can't let go. Carrying chains is all that I know. Think on my finger was everything to me. I chewed it off. I am free, but I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade. I remember ghosts never fade. I remember time is a hidden blade.
All right. So that's that. A little cleanup, a little automation, a little bit of tightening here and there. But for the overall soundscape, I'm pretty happy with it. So if anything you caught out, just let me know, Andrew. I'll make sure to dial that in before I get that first delivery to you. And then you'll be able to listen to it multiple times on your sources, post-mastering and all that. And make those changes from there. But yeah. No, this is such a fun song. It's such a fun performance. So at this point, I basically just have to commit the audio, which I'm also going to do off camera because committing isn't real time. But I will start taking pictures. The hardware is great. I love it. The sound, just the knobs, the feeling, you can't get that elsewhere. But when you render, it has to be in real time. So for this 3.5-minute song, every time I make a change and I render it out, it's got to be in full time. And then also, if I need to recall and bring it back, I have to take pictures of every single setting that I did and save it in the session so that I can go back and I can recall it later on if we have to make an adjustment or change. Yep, Bando definitely needs bumping during the solo. Too much reverb on spoons. XL down at the end. Perfect. So let's go to those spoons. Let's bring the mix down a little bit. Same thing there, maybe at like 9%. And then for the exhale, we will do a slight volume automation, probably around 4 dB. We'll start there, and I'll be able to dial that in. But I'm glad you're happy with it so far. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And then also, specifically to Andrew, anyone who's looking back on this isn't to you, so you can don't skip off. But anyways, I will be, I'm saving this as an MKV file. I do that, it's the Windows file, because if the stream does close or OBS crashes, it'll save the video up until that point. If I do MP4, it looks nicer, but if it crashes, the whole thing is gone. I will be compressing it and sending that over to you, as well as the first mix master. So you'll have the whole 2-ish hour long video that you can cut up and do things for promotional purposes for. So hopefully you get good value from it. I really appreciate you letting me stream this. This has been a lot of fun. So I am going to take pictures of all of my hardware and all of my settings. I'm going to render out the hardware so that way it's imprinted into the audio so that I don't have to run it through all this stuff every single time I do it. And then I'll start getting to automation and doing some mix and mastering. I will definitely be giving my ears a little bit of a break between that. And also, last thing, my personal mixing philosophy is it's awesome to make committed decisions. That's why I use hardware. But at the same time, when you've been listening and working on something for a long time, you kind of miss some of the mistakes because it's just you're familiar with it. It is what it is. So I am going to set this aside after automating it, leave, and come back tomorrow to do the final mastering. That's my personal process. That's why it takes me a little bit longer to mix and get things back than some other engineers if you're interested in working with me or whatnot, because I can go back with fresh ears and really think in a different mindset. Hey, am I noticing anything? Does it sound right? Does it sound wrong? And get out of that headspace of, yeah, I like how it sounds because I've not listened to anything else for the past 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 hours, depending how long the song is or how long the project is. So that's what I got. My work's just beginning, but I want to say thanks everyone who tuned into this. Thank you, Andrew, for letting me stream it. Once again, the links in the description to Crooked Notes Instagram as well as their website. Make sure to check them out. I know they got some live shows happening the rest of this summer. I feel like they'd be really, really fun to see live. I wish it was close. I checked out the website. I'm not, unfortunately not very close, but definitely would if I was in the area, because they have some live performance videos. It's just a hoot and a holler. So definitely, yeah, I appreciate that. Definitely recommend checking them out. And he's got some on Instagram. He recently today just posted a song that he's, at least when I saw the post, he had like just written it. So putting out ideas and new songs and performances all the time. So definitely make sure to follow them. They got some good stuff going out there. And with that said, also, of course, I wouldn't be making a video or live stream if I didn't shill myself out either. So feel free to subscribe, like, share, all that stuff. You know, it helps me know this is something that's people are interested in. And make sure to check the live one. It'll either be mixing another artist or it'll be a behind the scenes session as I work on my next song. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you at the next one. So with that, appreciate it. Cheers.